Welcome. I was just saying, if you want any props, blankets, cushions, all those things, grab them. They're not absolutely necessary for our lesson today, but it's always nice to have that support. Right. Well, let's get comfy. Let's begin. I'm going to go back here. So we'll start as usual in our lovely Vajrasana, Japanese kneeling pose. So coming into a comfortable position if this position is too intense for you. Otherwise you can have some blankets underneath your thighs or underneath your ankles. Take a moment, maybe just roll the shoulders a little. Allow your body to loosen any tightness in the upper back. And then we will start to get centered and we'll start to get grounded, slowly closing your eyes, relaxing your face, and tuning into your breath. Oh, I forgot to mute everyone. Allowing that lovely breath to take you into your center. Just observing how you feel. We're just going to sit here for a couple of minutes, just to feel into our body. Allow the day to just dissolve and melt away. Allow your body to relax now and find its center. Feel the breath moving from the chest down to the belly. Soften your jaw. And soften your eyes. Notice the thoughts that may be flowing through the mind. And see if you can tune into the sound of your breath. Another 20 seconds here. And then taking a deep breath in. Opening your eyes, feel free to stretch out from there. Just to find that lovely yang energy and invite that in for a moment. We're going to come onto our backs and into banana asana, banana pose. So lying down, making sure you feel comfy and supported, and when you do, you can walk those heels over towards the right. And then if it feels okay, you can walk your shoulders towards the right as well. And then deciding whether you want your arms overhead or you want your arms down. Allow the left side of your body to draw down into the floor. If you want to find a little extra stretch, you can place your right foot over the top of the left ankle, or you could explore and try the other foot instead, because we're looking for the stretch now down the left side of the body. Let your shoulders and your hips draw to the ground. Close your eyes and allow that breath to invite you in. This is a 4-minute hold here. And we're only looking for that first point of resistance in our stretch. And as you soften and breathe into your pose, you may find your body inviting you a little deeper and moving into that next point of resistance. Just observing how the body's doing today. Observing where you're holding tension in your body. And allowing the tension to ease as you try and release any muscular effort or muscular tightness. Notice if you're holding tension in those ankles. Notice if you're holding tension in your buttocks, your back, your shoulders, your face. Soften it out. Breathe into your body. Breathe down the length of your body. Relax the jaw if the tension is creeping in there. Continue to soften and surrender with every exhale. Enjoy the sensation of your body opening up and welcoming you in. Halfway through this lovely hold, you can get a little deeper if you feel like maybe that little edge, that point of resistance has moved. You can find the next point of resistance. We never go into our full pose straight away. We just slowly wait patiently for our body to invite us in, bit by bit, breath by breath. Feeling the stretch from the hip rising up to the armpit, and maybe from the hip down the side of the leg. It's not a completely restorative pose, there's still some challenge there. But if it's too intense, ease up. And keep noticing, monitoring if tension is creeping in anywhere. And try and consciously release it. Taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, recentering your body very slowly, because these are long holds. You want to take your time as you come out of it. Really just go nice and slow. Feel free to give yourself a little hug, a well-deserved cuddle, And then you can move into the other side. Again, take your time, there's no rush. Once you're ready, you can move over into the other side, moving the feet first and then moving the shoulders and deciding where you want your arms. They could both be up, they could remain down. One might be up, one might be down, they might be out to the side. This side doesn't have to be the same as the other side. We're very lopsided beings because of the way we live our lives. So allow your body to guide you into where it needs to be on this side. And when you finally get there, then you can start to surrender and soften into your banana pose on this side. And I've got my lovely book of poems from Danna Faulds again. So I shall find one by randomly opening it up. And I think I read this one last week, but we probably can't remember it. Light bearers. We are light bearers, stewards of a truth that insists on being shared despite doubt or fear or imagined limitation. We spread the flame by teaching or by growing still, by daring to be outrageous and dancing beneath the full moon, or by holding a friend in need and taking part in life's normal routines. This is our message. There is hope encoded in each cell, each loving thought, each time we reach out to one another. There's truth that won't be stopped by toppling buildings, snipers' bullets, war clouds, or the horizon, or the inner storms of grief, despair, and insecurity. We are the peace we've been seeking, the peace that stretches beyond the mind's need for form or understanding, the peace for which each human heart longs. Now is the time for the light bearers to offer up the truth of who and what we really are. Beautiful. Halfway through, excuse me. Allowing your body once more to soften. Allowing your breath to soften. Allowing yourself to find space and openness. Just over a minute to go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And very slowly release yourself that back to center. This time when you get to center, coming into a beautiful big wide Shavasana, a big old starfish pose, arms out to the side, legs out to the side, just lying down in a great big starfish. We're going to stay here just for a minute, just so that you can feel your body. And let the arms and legs drop out as wide as you feel comfortable. Take up all the space in your room. Give yourself permission to take up the space. Fill the space with your energy, with your breath. Allow your body to melt into the ground, into the floor. Softening your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. Observe the body. Observe the energy flowing through your body. Observe the breath. And taking a deep breath in. Gently bring your knees in, curl up, give yourself a nice little hug. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back to center. And we're going to come into a pigeon pose to get into our hips. So you can start off first on your hands and knees. If pigeon pose doesn't work for you, just hang out and I'll give you another variation. Otherwise, we're going to take our right knee up towards our right wrist, slide back into that left leg. And if you feel like you're hanging out in the air here, maybe pop a cushion underneath your right hip, or you can have a block or something just to support yourself, or you can have something underneath your left thigh as well. Finding your comfort here, you can also have cushions or props in front of you, so when you come down, maybe you stay a little higher. Or if you're comfortable coming all the way down here, take a deep breath in. Find length in the body, feel that length up through the spine, and then you can slowly make your way down to forearms, to props, or eventually all the way down to the floor. If pigeon pose does not work for you, then you can come onto your back and either use a normal thread the needle, grabbing hold of the left knee or thigh or shin, or you can place your left foot against a wall, and you don't need to then hold the leg if the wall is supporting your foot. So finding one of those variations and allowing yourself to relax into whichever one works best, because you've got 4 minutes here. The target area, of course, is our right glute, the right upper thigh, the right buttock. And as you allow, excuse me, as you allow yourself to soften and rest into this place, finding, of course, that first point of resistance, and then surrendering, I shall read you another poem from the book One Soul by Danna Faulds. This one's called The Doubt du Jour. He enters surely as if I'd issued him a key, sits on the most comfortable couch and starts to order me around. You, he says, pointing a bony finger in my direction, in the direction of my head. My doubts are never feminine. He sounds like he grew up in Brooklyn. Who the hell do you think you are? A skeptical leer twists his lips as he says this. You think you can pen a line or two and call yourself a poet. You think you can trust the universe to provide for you outside the normal 9 to 5. That's sheer and utter bullshit. I've noticed if I'm not cowering by this point, the figure on the couch expands, the pointing finger, a sausage, out of all proportion, tries to pin me down. You good for nothing, worthless scum, you selfish, lazy, dysfunctional excuse of a woman. Here's where it gets really interesting. If I can let the voice of doubt just be there, without controlling me, it starts to fade. He sounds like the Wicked Witch after Dorothy pitched water on her face. The accusations wane. But if I attempt to defend myself, the battle lines are drawn. Doubt calls in reinforcements. He mimics my mother's voice with uncanny artistry. He dredges in the mud for scenes from my past and puts them on parade. He grows so wide and loud he drowns out the birds, the sound of rain on window panes, the music of the wind. This is where practice comes in handy, when being 50 is far easier than 25. So doubt stands up and almost fills the room. He lists my imperfections one by one until I feel like a beetle in some kid's bug collection with a pin through my middle, and I'm praying for the chloroform. But here's the thing. If I can get a little distance from the drama of it all, if I can witness this instead of playing dead, if I can laugh at doubt, he simply disappears. Oh yeah, he'll be back. He's waiting in the wings. But even one good belly laugh will banish him again. That's the way it is with me and doubt. Take a deep breath in and gently ease your way out from your pigeon pose. Take your time, there's no rush. You might press into a down dog. You might choose a tabletop. You might choose something very different. We're staying on this right side. And before we go into pigeon on the other side, we're going to come into a lunge by stepping our right foot forward. Just as far as you want. It can go a whole lot forward, or it could just be slightly forward. And you can have the foot out slightly. You can have props to hold you up. Or you can have the foot in and have hands on either side. See what feels good for you here. You can stay a little higher and really get into the hip flexors on the left side. Or you can make space for your body and come down lower. Just have a little play, a little explore. It's always good to take the first few moments, 30 seconds or a minute, to just find your way into the pose. And once you're there, then you can start working your way into stillness. And it's also a 4-minute hold. So we're in these ones for quite some time. Allow yourself space and allow yourself time to get to where you want to be. Tune into your breath. Find softness if you need support underneath the back knee. Pop a cushion or a blanket under there. And allow that breath as you breathe in to slide down your back. And as you breathe out, let it slide up the front, taking with it any discomfort, taking with it anything that no longer serves you as you breathe it out. Breathe the breath into the whole body, allowing it to invite you in bit by bit, moment by moment. Breathe deeply and start to surrender. Find that space, that stillness. Halfway there. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice if the sensations intensify or if they start to ease off, and then you can decide if you want to go deeper or not. "20 seconds to go." Breathe deeply, finding space and creating space. And because these are long holds and it's our yin practice, as you come out, take your time. Breathe with it, very slowly releasing back into your hip flexors, finding a way back to a neutral position. You can always find a little yang movement, sorry. And just find what feels good, down dog, or just rocking out from side to side, or child's pose. Anything that calls to you, anything that feels right for you. And then we're going to transfer into our pigeon pose on the other side. So when you're ready, either from down dog or from that tabletop, left knee comes over towards that left wrist. Reach out through the back foot. Just find your way. Take time just to square up those hips. Allow your body to open. You can always sit into it a little higher, and you can always put some support underneath the hips. Breathe in and find length through the spine. Let the chest open and the shoulders slide down the back and feel all of that deliciousness in your body. And on your exhale, you can decide to stay where you are. If this is just feeling really great, you can stay here for 2 minutes and come down for 2. Or if you want to, you can come down bit by bit, breath by breath. And finding that target in our glutes and in that thigh. You might feel it in the hamstrings a little if they're super tight. Make sure your knee's comfy, or if you need to on this side, take that thread the needle. As I said earlier, our 2 sides are never the same, and this might be the case here. The knee might not like it. You might need to choose thread the needle instead. 4 minutes. I'm going to pick up Danna Faulds' other book, Go In and In. Let's see what she's got for us. This is called Remember This. Vast and changeless, the ground of being is not rocked by ripples on the pond. The firmament from which we spring, the divinity at the heart of things, does not wax or wane with mind states or wither in the wind. We come from stronger stuff than feelings. Essence does not fail or fade, diminish or trade reality for illusion. We are wordless, wide, and wise beyond time. Within us is a flame of truth that never dies. Let that be the focal point of life. Let that be the light that guides us from the shadows. Breathe into that. Halfway through, continue to soften any muscular effort that you discover in the buttocks, in the knees, in the legs, in the shoulders, in the face. Looking for the gentle stress to release or increase as you release. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, press your way gently, slowly, softly out into whatever feels good. Down dog, maybe just tabletop, stretching out the legs. But definitely find space in your body. Definitely move those legs so that your knees, again, can find some lovely energy flowing through them, some fluidity coming through. And then when you're ready, and of course there's never any rush or any hurry, when you're ready, you can come into that lunge on the other side. Left leg comes forward. Right leg extends again. You can extend your leg out for a big lunge. You can do a runner's lunge, taking the foot to the side, or you can just keep it relatively close to your body. Find what feels good here. And then find that challenge, that space, that place of just the first point of resistance. You can choose to be up much higher, or you can choose to be down much lower. Let's find your way into the lunge that feels appropriate. Grabbing books or lunch boxes if they're convenient as a block. And then as you start to soften, release your thoughts into your breath. Allowing your breath to take you deeper into this lovely space, into this lovely stretch into your hip flexors. 4 minutes. And here's a poem called Stardust. From a crowded firmament of constellations, a galaxy reaches out to stroke my cheek with a single spiral finger. One star speaks. Life is not a test. There is no key to find or door to open. Self-improvement is not the point. There is only awakening. And one day, you will all awaken to the rapture of the great lovemaking when the heart of everything is revealed as you, when the myth of separation is burned to ash in the searing flame of truth. A lifetime of forgetfulness erased in an instant of remembering. The beloved enters, takes me in a whirl of tenderness and bliss. In that moment, two are one, and one is everything. Stars and souls are whole, unbroken, flowing motion. What is wrapped in skin or cloaked in form has no birth or death or destination. The star speaks to me again. The seeds of love sown an eternity ago are blooming now. There has always been divinity, and this, at last, is who we are. Love in endless consummation. Love, not limitation, is the truth. Then with a rush of wind like countless wings, I am left to sit in stillness, with the taste of stardust sweet upon my lips. Halfway there. Keep surrendering into this lunge, allowing your body to invite you in. Allowing your breath to guide you deeper. And checking the ego, making sure it's not trying to force you anywhere you're not ready or prepared to go. Breathing softness into your body. 40 seconds left. And taking that deep breath in and very slowly beginning to surrender out from that pose, finding any movement that feels good, allowing the energy back into those hip flexors. When you're ready, you can come onto your seat. Now we're going to extend our right leg out in front and bring our left leg up along the inner thigh, anywhere along the inner thigh. Now you can have props, cushions, blocks, things that are a little higher beside you if you like. And if you want, you can extend the leg out to the side for a bit more of a stretch through the inner thigh, or you can have it in front. I'm going to give you a couple of options. Either you can fold forward and just allow the body to hang out over that front leg, or you can open it out to the side and maybe you want more of a side stretch. Maybe you want your block and you can hang out over the side. So find what feels good here. If you want more of that stretch along the side from the hip up the body, then maybe choose the side one. You'll get a little bit in the inner thigh. But if you want more along the back of the hamstrings and maybe along the back, then choose having the leg out in front. Allow the back to round if you're coming forward, and just allow the body to start to surrender down. We're doing 4-minute holds today. If you like, you could start with one of them, and if I remember, I'll let you know when it's halfway through, and you can swap to the other one. So just find the one that really feels appropriate for you today. And breathe into it, breathe into your body. Once more, try and soften any tension around the knees, any tension that the body is forcing, like trying to hold and scrunch and squeeze. Just let that go. There might be tension where there's tightness, and that's okay. We're trying not to force any muscular effort here. So observe when the body tries to contract and see if you can let it go. The kneecap, the buttock, the thigh, the ankle. Breathe and surrender with every breath. And every time you feel like your body invites you a little deeper, explore it. Just walk to the edge of where you feel comfortable, that first point of resistance that you reach, and sit there. And then notice if the edge shifts and changes, and then walk to the next point. We're at 30 seconds before we get halfway, so you can choose to stay in the one pose the whole time. Or if you like, you can mix it up and either turn to the side or turn forward. And drop into it a little more. Make sure your knee's comfortable. You can always pop something underneath it, your arms or a little blanket. Surrender to that breath. Let the breath take you into yourself with every single inhale and exhale. A minute to go. And deep breath in. Come on up from there. Slowly release your legs. Give them a good little pedal out. Get those knees moving again. And then coming down into our big pentacle Shavasana pose. So lying down, stretching out and surrendering completely. Observing your body, noticing the energy, the movement, the prana. And you're down here for 2 minutes. Just surrendering completely. And taking a deep breath in, bringing your knees into center, giving yourself a hug. And then rolling your way up to a comfortable seat so that you can extend out the left leg and bring the right foot in. Again, you can choose between those two options. Maybe having the leg a little wider, maybe having some support to hang out on the side. Oops, my finger touched my earbud and I turned the music off. Or you can have the hand in front and come forward. The leg in front, sorry. And your 4 minutes will begin once I can see everybody is comfortably in their pose. Just find your way, and it's all about surrendering. So we're not straining into it, we're not trying to force a stretch, we're just allowing our body to reveal the stretch, reveal the tension. And just gently look for that gentle stress to increase with the deeper release. Keep finding your way through your breath and into your body. And here's another poem from the book Go In and In, called Inner Fire. What does it take to keep the inner fire of inspiration burning? What wakes the soul from sleep when the mind yearns for any respite from the storm? What calls forth courage when fear is a known and frequent guest? When the winds of change and circumstance swirl in circles, when breath is short and shallow, what brings release? The peace of God is present in the tumult and temple. A single thought can move us from the unreal to the real. To dance or kneel, to sing or speak a prayer of gratitude and praise can spark the flame of truth again. To remember and forget, to find and lose, to remember and forget again. There is no shame in this. To recall the grace that is our nature brings down the wall that separates and draws the gaze inside once more. There, the open door of the heart glows like a beacon in the night. There, we rest in stillness and in light. Just over a minute to go. Keep surrendering. Keep breathing. Keep allowing your body to explore. And taking a deep breath in, very slowly easing your way out again, maybe physically picking up those legs. Let the energy come into those knees. Find space in your body. We're going to come onto our bellies and work our spine in our lovely seal pose. So you can have blocks, you can have cushions to bring yourself up higher later if you want. But to begin with, we're just going to come onto our bellies. Shoulders, elbows shoulder width apart, but the elbows can be an inch in front of the shoulders if you like, or directly under. What you don't want them to be is behind the shoulders. That doesn't have anything to hold you up and you'll just collapse. So you want to build your frame so that you can then just kind of hang off it and let the belly drop into the floor, the hips drop into the floor. The head can hang if that feels comfortable, or, especially in our back bends, we can purposely bring in a little muscular effort where you can lift the body slightly and lift the head. Or if you're comfortable, you can hang right out. Legs can be wider if they need to for comfort. And if it's too much in your low back, you can hug those outer thighs in every once in a while or the whole time. You can hug them in, let them go, hug them in, let them go, or just keep them held. Breathe into it and allow yourself to surrender. If it is comfortable to drop the head, go for it. So notice where the stretch is, or you can always have a prop to rest your forehead on. Breathe your belly into the floor. This is a 4-minute pose, but I will give you a 2-minute warning when it might be time to go up a little higher into full seal. So we're starting in Sphinx. Just allowing the back to open and warm. Once more, visualizing that breath sliding down your back as you breathe in. Think about it sliding down the spine and nourishing the spinal column. And as you breathe out, let it rise up from your belly and come out through your nose or your mouth like a flame. Releasing anything that no longer serves you, breathing it out. And keep observing the sensations in the body. Notice what's going on. What is calling your awareness to it? Can you release any tightness, or do you need to bring a little muscular tension into that area? If you like, you can bring your arms onto a cushion or a pillow, or you can press yourself up a little higher here, coming up into your seal pose for the next 2 minutes, or you can just stay where you were if that was working for you. Hands can be turned out, hands can be closer or further away, just finding the height that works for your body, or just staying where you were. Once more, allowing the belly, the abdominal organs, the pelvis, the hips to drop into the floor. You might need to bring a little bit of that muscular effort into the legs here if you're being challenged by it. You're also welcome to drop the head if that's comfortable, but that might intensify the stretch down the back. So again, just gauging and checking in, seeing how you're doing. Breathe. Feel the belly stretch out and release. Keep working softness into your body and finding kindness. almost there. And allow yourself to breathe yourself down to the floor and just rest here on your belly. You can rest your forehead on your hands or straight to the floor. Let the hips soften. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay here, or if you like, very, very slowly, you can begin to move back into a child's pose. A child's pose that allows your back to round out, so having the knees together or slightly parted will give you a nice counter pose to that back bend. Allowing the breath to move into the back of your body. Taking a deep breath in and gently coming onto your back. So making your way onto your back when you're ready, and we're going to finish off with our twists. So there's always a variety of twists that you can choose from here. You can choose the easiest one, just shifting the hips over to the side, drawing the knees up and dropping them in the opposite direction. Arms wherever you like. Or if you want to go deeper, then that's where we take, in this case, the right leg over the left, and you can either just stack the legs together or hook them up. We're still going to shift the hips over to the right and then drop the knees towards the left. So the right leg's over the top, that's the one that comes to the floor. Arms, again, wherever you like. Out to the side, up or down, overhead. And same with the gaze. You can gaze to the same side as the legs. You can gaze straight up, or you can gaze off in the opposite direction for a deeper stretch. Just finding the twist that you're happy to sit in for just 2 minutes. Not going to hang out in this for too long because time is against us. So when you find that space to surrender, surrender deeply. Let the breath spiral through your spine. Let the gentle stress in your body increase with the relaxation and the softening of the effort. As we just softly, gently, almost like we're pulling our bones apart. It's putting in gentle stress into our body, which creates little micro tears in our tissues, which then prompts the body to go about repairing it stronger, more resilient than it was before. Take a deep breath in. Gently ease out. Feel free to find a little movement or just shift your hips over in the opposite direction. Find the twist that works and surrender into your twist on the other side. Two minutes. This is called go in and in. Go in and in. Be the space between two cells, the vast resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek, the beloved. Singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence. The all of everything expressing through you as you. Go in, and turn away from nothing that you find. Take a deep breath in. Stretch yourself out, release yourself, find a little wiggle if you want, and then surrender into your final Shavasana. Grab blankets, cushions, pillows, make yourself comfy, allow yourself to be supported completely, and then surrender. Surrender down into your body, surrender down into your breath. Feel free to pop a cushion underneath each knee or a small little pillow underneath your head. Get cozy, get snuggly. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Release it through the mouth. Another deep full breath in. And let it all go. Feel your body softening. No more effort now. No more focus. Just the sweet surrender into your mat, into the floor, into the earth. And this is the final poem as you relax into your deep state of rest. And it's called Enough. It's enough to offer love, no matter how imperfectly received or given. It's enough to try and fail at a difficult task. Enough to fall and rise, stumble, fall again, sigh, and start to walk, however slowly, in the direction the soul points. It's enough to seek peace and find pain, to gain nothing but a vision of truth and take the long route home. It's enough to feel temptation, the dance of the senses, the hot pull of desire. Enough to call on God, walk through fire, sleep and cry and fear or welcome dying. It's enough to be and breathe, to feel and the touch of wind on skin. It's enough to take the day as it comes, to watch the ripples on the lake as the rock sinks to the bottom, to see the wild reflection of the surface calm into a mirror once again. It's enough to hear the voice of fear and hide, or seek it out and face the shame or shadows. It's enough to set out to tame demons and watch them multiply instead. It's enough to be buffeted by the winds of change and not blown over. I and you and all of us, more than enough. Start to draw your awareness back to your body and back to your breath, wherever it's wandered off to. So draw it back, breathe it in, lengthening your breath down your body and up to your crown. Drawing that prana, that life force, back into every part of you as you deepen and lengthen the breath. Wriggle the fingers and stretch. Feel free to gently curl up, rest on your side for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, find your way back to a nice comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space. And sit into the space, sit into your body. Feel that lovely connection between the palms and the heartbeat. Feel into that deep sense of peace and well-being that you've brought into your being. Take a moment just to think some loving thoughts to yourself, some thoughts of gratitude and kindness. And we'll seal our practice with one Om, taking a deep breath in. Keeping your eyes closed, rub your hands together. Place your palms either over your eyes or over your heart, whichever feels good. and then spread that energy down your body.